Plaintiff Ardella Williams says the defendant is her son, and for the past 7 years, he has had nothing but problems, and she's worried that he may be in a gang. Ardella is suing because she claims she was forced out of her apartment due to her son's behavioral problems. Defendant Michael Hamby admits that he had behavioral problems and was lashing out because of constantly going back and forth between his mom, dad, and grandparents. However, Michael insists he is getting his life in order because he now has a daughter.
Tell me what's going on.
Okay, first I'd like to say I'm sorry that we have to be here under these circumstances, but I'm honored to have you hear our case. Okay,
thank you.
Michael is my son. He's the third of 4 boys that I have. For about the past 7 years, we've been going through things with his behavior, juvenile, detention, everything like that.
What has he been in juvenile for?
He started running away. After that, he they said, breaking into a school, elementary school.
He wanted to learn.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
He should have went when class was in. This was in the summer. So.
Okay.
But okay, he was on probation. He was on house arrest. He was into a fight with the Columbus police officer. He won't abide by the school rules. He wants to wear red all the time. He claims it's his favorite color, but you can't wear red in the school, so they kicked him out for that. So
how can't you wear red in the school?
Because it's gang-related colors, red or blue. Yeah, so that's
where you all live.
Columbus, Ohio. But I would say that these things like really started happening like in '98. We had 3 tragedies in our family back to back. October of '98, my younger sister was almost killed in a car accident. Turned around right after Thanksgiving, my brother-in-law burnt to death in his home. Right after that, the day after Christmas, one of my twin brothers was murdered right behind my home on his way to my home. We buried him New Year's Eve, so we were going through a lot.
Wow.
And then I ended up going through custody case with Michael to get custody of him. It took 4 years. So
custody from whom?
His father.
How did the father, if you don't mind, get full custody?
Well, what he had was temporary custody because he went to the courts and told them that I was abusing my son and neglecting him. When we would go to court, we would have to keep getting it continued because either he wouldn't show up or he didn't comply and do the drug screening.
How old was he when he moved in with you?
When he came back home, he was 11.
When did he start the destructive behavior?
As soon as he came back home.
All right, and he didn't do that living with his father?
Well, he did. He would act out with the dad. He would lock himself in a room or a bathroom or whatever. He would cry out that he wanted to come back home with me because there was no reason for him to be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the end, I won the custody case, got my baby back, and he came home. We have rules. You got to do your chores. You got to have a curfew. You got to be respectful. You got to go to school. He wasn't wanting to do that.
You're missing the biggest one.
What's that?
Obey the law.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. He right off, he wasn't getting into the trouble with the law. He was at home having the problems.
All right. Now I don't want to act like he's not here while we talk about it.
Okay,
Let me allow him to give some background. Sir?
Oh, that's true, Your Honor. I can't sit here and deny none of it. I had behavioral problems, and it was because everything that I was just going through, you know, back and forth with my mom, my dad, my grandparents, and I was just lashing out, just misbehaving, period, point blank.
How old are you now?
18.
You still doing that?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm ready to get myself together. I got a daughter now, so I'm trying to, you know, get done with school. I did drop out, but I'm planning on going back and trying to get into some college courses and, you know, just take care of business.
Is there a community college? I'm sure there is in Columbus. And most community colleges now, or training programs, nonprofit ones in particular, they'll allow you to get your GED as you work towards your associate's degree. So look into that, because otherwise you're going to go right back to the street. Who you live with now?
My mother.
Okay. Why are you suing him today?
I'm suing him for my moving expenses because it's his fault that I was put out. Because he was standing around every day wearing red, all like he wears all the time, pants sagging, standing on the corner. And I would come home from work and I'm like, Michael, what are you doing? I thought you were
by himself?
With his homies.
All of them had on red as well?
No, but he has on red.
He's the only blood.
He's not.
Everybody else is just regular thugs. He's the blood thug, huh?
Yeah, the other.
He's the
friends,
one-man gang. All right, go ahead, man.
So I come home, I see you standing out there. You look like you're doing something wrong to me. I'm like, your pants are sagging, you're rocking the red. You should be out trying to get a job or going to school, doing something. You holding up the block. You're not security. You don't need to stand around and watch the neighborhood. Oh, man, Ma. I'm like, ugh, don't man me. I'm not your man. I'm your mom. Stop standing on the corner. He didn't do it. So one night he comes home and he's like, Ma, these dudes in all black jumped out on me, the Jump Out Boys. I'm like, is that another gang? Is that a rival gang? I don't know. So he was like, they jumped out and tried to get us to run our pockets. We thought we was getting robbed until they pulled out the badge. And I was like, were they real officers or whatever? And he was like, I think so, but I don't know. I said, well, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna check into it. So a couple days go by. I'm coming home from work and there's a note on my door to leave the premises. And I'm like, well, I'll pay my rent. What is this about? So I call around there and I'm like, what's going on? Well, he threatened someone and we need you to come around here and let's work this, talk about it. So they set up a meeting so that the undercover officer could be there, the lady that he threatened, and her boss who's above her. So I said, okay, we're having a meeting. We're going to go to this meeting. Don't you say nothing, because I know him. I said, don't say nothing. Let me go in here. Let me talk to them and let me work this out, because I don't have no money to move. Just so happened, I know the undercover police officer. When I get there, I see him. He's like, I know your mom. She's cool people. He jumps up. What's that got to do with this and this and this and that? And I'm like, calm down. I'm like, they're speaking to my character. Mm-hmm. So they know I'm a good mother, you know. And then I said, you owe her an apology. You owe them an apology. I ain't apologizing to nobody. Slams the chair back, slams the woman's door open and leaves the office. So I'm there trying to pick up the pieces. And the lady, she's like, you're a really good tenant. She's like, I don't want to evict you. She was like, if you will agree to move, we can just sign the paperwork. You're going to agree to move. If not, we're going to have to put you out.
All right. You never suggested to them that you will put him out so you wouldn't have that problem anymore?
She wasn't trying to hear that.
He's the only blood.
He's not.
Everybody else is just regular thugs. He's the blood thug, huh?
Yeah, the other
He's the one-man gang.
Plaintiff Ardella Williams is suing her son because she claims she was put out of her apartment due to his behavioral issues.
He has you paying for his sins.
And that's what I told him. So once I get home, I tell him, I'm like, Michael, you owe me an apology now because you got me in a jacked up situation. Man, I don't know you nothing. So by now I'm ready to snap. So I go for him and he's coming back like, you better not hit me or something. I said, you know what, you gotta go.
Why won't you put him out?
I said, you gotta go. So he was like, I'm not going nowhere. I said, oh, you going.
What's all that for? You staying home with your mama looking tough. You ain't no tough guy.
I told him,
you're a mama's boy. Man, let me tell you the sign of a real thug and a real gangbanger, they getting money.
I know
that's the number one sign.
I know.
And they don't live at home because they get money. And so they out somewhere living on their own, probably have 2 or 3 spots.
Exactly.
All right, when you see that, then you become suspicious. Well, other than that, he's just watching videos and acting out. Going in the corner, coming back home.
Well, Your Honor, honestly, he was doing the things that you say. More so, I would see money, and I'm
so
like,
why do you have to live with you there?
I put him out.
He said he's staying with you. He just told me he's staying with you. Is he staying with you or not?
He is now.
Well then, he ain't out. He's not out.
I threw him out.
Ma'am, let me just tell you, did he ever agree to pay you moving expenses?
He told me that he didn't owe me anything.
All right, and he doesn't unless he agreed to pay you. Anything else I can help you with? You want to defend him and act like he is this and that. He told me, I said, put him out. Well, Yana, I did put him out. Well, he's back. How did he get back? He broke in?
No, he didn't break in,
Well, then how did he get back in, ma'am? I can't help you. Your claim is dismissed. I can't help you. You got a thug. He wants to be a thug. You let him stay at your house. Put him out. Y'all repeat after me. Put him out.
I wouldn't have had to move out if he wouldn't have did whatever he did. That was on him.
I love her, and I'm just happy that it's all in the past now. It's over and done with.
I love my son. I love you.